And a good opener, of course, always have topic statements or topic sentence, and have a preview. Yeah, of course, we're gonna take a look like that later, so don't worry about that. And after that, we're gonna have a body. Yeah, body. So, of course, bodies refers to the things mainly you would mainly like to include in your presentation. And of course, we got to have like topic sentences and supporting sentences. And at last, we should have a very strong conclusion. Yeah, and in the conclusion, there got to be a signal phrases by telling everybody, I mean the audience, that your presentation is going to be in. Right, and of course, a review, which means that's the restatement of your presentation. And also, you got to have a closer. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about these three kind of things in the following 2 hours. All right, 1.5 hours. So don't worry about that. Okay, so okay, that's what makes a good structure of a presentation. Are you with me? Yeah. Okay, but however, we just watched the presentation delivered by Steve Jobs. So I would like to know, what did Steve do good or effective in his presentation? Yeah, may I invite some answers? For example, eating. Are you here? Eating. Hi. So, according to the speech delivered by Steve Jobs we just watched, yeah, do you think that he has done a great job on that? Yeah? Okay, so what do you think he has done a great job on that? For example, do you think he feels nervous in his presentation? I mean, speech? No. And confident? Yeah, anything else? Good body language, yeah. And how about the speed? Do you think he talked in a relatively fast or slow pace? Or medium pace? What do you think? Okay. You know, okay pace. Okay. Right. So, what do you think about the speed we should deliver in a presentation? Yeah. Right. Freddie, what do you think?
In the speed?
Yeah. In presentation, what is the perfect speed we need to deliver, we need to have in a presentation? Should we talk in a fast way, or should we talk in a relatively slower pace? What do you think?
It's slow, but the people understand that you say, and with emotion, I don't be boring.
Okay, so your suggestions that we should definitely try to talk in a slower pace. So can we talk like this today, like a sloth, right? Today not that low, not that slow. Okay. All right, but in a calm way, in a confident way. All right. So, but again, I think that depends on the audience. The audience, of course, I think that depends on the presentation you want to make. Imagine that if you are a president and you want to deliver a presentation, or you wanted to deliver a speech to your people of your country. And of course, you want to get your idea across clearly. So whenever we hear about, for example, Barack Obama talking on television, he usually talks in a relatively slower pace. Yeah, instead of talking like, oh, today I'm going to tell you a news. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so again, so while you deliver it, when you deliver your presentation next week, you don't have to be rushed, right? Although you'll be given like 5 to 8 minutes. Yeah, but don't try to rush, right? Because I know everybody tend to be rush a little bit, especially when you feel nervous, but try to calm down a little bit. And actually pause a little bit will sometimes get your audience attention. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later. So, of course, so don't try to rush. Yeah, because that makes your audience nervous as well. And a little bit uncomfortable. Okay? So next, we're going to watch a film. Yeah, we're going to watch a film. And in the film, okay, let's take a look at the following chart here. So watch Sophie and Jason. What do they do wrong? Put an X next to the body language tips that each speaker doesn't follow. Hello? So here's are some do's and don'ts. Okay, so I give you like 20 seconds to go through all these do's and don'ts. Okay? So there's like 6 do's and don'ts. Boom! I give you 20 seconds to go through this. And TAs, please help me to explain any new vocabulary your members may have. Okay? Come on.
So this is the first one. This is more between 30 to 70 apart here. Yeah. Not like this. So you need to be 30 or 45 cm centimeter. This is the first one. Second one, don't leave again the text or labels for support when you speak. You don't leave again like here. You don't need to do that. And then don't cross your arm in front of your audience. What do you mean cross arm? Yeah. So no cross arm. Smile naturally. You are comfortable with your message. So when you put a message, you smile.
Don't stand there like this.
And then don't touch your face while you can. Or put your hand against the desk. Your face, your hair, your chest, and your hand. The last one, the last one is your hand by your side or west.
Do you keep your hands by your side?
Keep your hand by your side. So one more hand. And then
yeah, you just stand in a relative Okay, thank you, TAs. So hopefully you've gone through these 6 do's and don'ts points here. So let's take a look at Sophie's. Yeah, what kind of things has she done wrong here? Okay.
In Unit 2, you also learned about effective body language and posture when you're presenting. Watch Sophie and Jason. Notice what they're doing wrong.
My favorite place is a big park near my parents' house. I go there a lot to enjoy nature and fresh air in the middle of the city. I like going in the morning when there aren't too many kids there. When I'm there, I love walking around the lake, and sometimes I bring bread from home to feed the fish. I also like to bring my camera to take pictures of the lake, especially in the rain. For me, the park is also a great place to just relax and think about things.
Okay, so maybe we can compare answers all together. So how about the first one? In films, did Sophie stand straight in a relaxed way with her feet 30 to 45 centimeters apart? No? Okay, so if you think she didn't do that, then you put an X here. And obviously, in the films, she stand like this. Yeah, with her feet too close together. And it seems like she's extremely nervous. Yeah, and she didn't smile quite a lot. Yeah, which makes her audience even more nervous. Right, and furthermore, she stood too straight with her feet too close to each other. And furthermore, it seems like her arms are really stiff. And she always clench her fist. Yeah, I don't know, maybe she's ready for a fight or something. Okay, so that is not a good sign. And furthermore, next one. Did she touch her face or hair? Yeah. Yes, she did. Right, so here. Oh, and I don't think she smiled naturally. And she touched her face and hair, which is not a good thing to do, especially in a presentation. Yeah, okay. It's not like you're introducing your face or hair to everybody else, so don't touch your body during the presentation, okay? Right, next, how about Jason? Let's check what Jason did in his presentation.
The Daily Grind Cafe is near my university. It's a great place to sit and watch people. There's all kinds of people there. Students, professors, housewives, office workers, lawyers, artists, all types. I often go in the afternoon between classes, and I usually order a croissant. I also sometimes go in the evening to do homework or check Facebook on my iPad. It's a lot more comfortable than the campus library.
Okay, so what has he done wrong in the film? Okay, so firstly, did he stand straight in a relaxed way? Yeah, I think he's quite relaxed, but she's like too relaxed, right? He's like super confident, but too casual. It's not professional at all. So number one, yes, I think he's standing in a relatively casual and relaxed way. And did he lean against a desk? Yeah, he actually sat on it. So number two, okay, I don't think he did it right here. So actually he sat on it. So number two, he didn't make it. And number three, did he cross his arms in front of his chest? Yeah. Okay. So that is another thing. He didn't do well. Yeah, too casual. And of course, he leaned against the table, crossed his arms in front of his chest, and did he smile naturally? Yeah, okay, so that is the good things he did. And did he touch his face or hair? No. However, did he put his hand in his pocket? Yes, so, okay. Yeah, that is the things he didn't do well. And the last one, did he keep his hands by the side of the waist level or elbows loose when not gesturing? And actually in the films, most of the time, he puts his hand in his pocket, right? So that is another thing he didn't do well. Okay, so that's it. So all of these things should be the mistake we should definitely avoid, right? Of course, a lot of students, because they are extremely nervous, So sometimes they would like to touch their hairs or face all the time, or like stand really straight with really stiff arms and body. Try to avoid that. Alright, and next, let's move on to the next part, which is the eye contact part. Right, TAs, of course I need your help again. So please help your group members go through these 6 do's and don'ts. These tips here, right, by explaining them what to do and what they shouldn't do, especially in presentation. Okay, come on, go.
So 90% means you should not be reading like this. You shouldn't be talking to people while you're reading the machine. You should go only 10% small amount of time in the machine, most of the time. So you should know your material. If you don't know your material, you'll be sitting there. Look at someone for a when you're saying something, not one should be talking to everyone like this. Right? Say one thing to you. You're not finish it. Then talk about something else. It's breaking it up. Use the big side. Speak 10. Always have different things.
Aiming, like target.
Again, when you need to look for information to talk, starting to talk, look at something and just
Hey guys,
get used to doing which one?
I'm going to talk to you.
Read silence.
Yesterday.
It means that because somebody just keep reading on their notes. We are reading as notes. So if you want to read your notes, then just be silent. And after you look at it, and get your ideas and start to look at it and then start talking. So don't look at your script and talk at the same